25,000 beds in quick build dormitories will be up early next year, with another 100,000 ready within the next few years. These can help reduce the density of workers in existing dormitories as the Manpower Ministry works with operators to improve structural changes. But as new clusters of COVID-19 re-emerge in previously cleared dormitories, operators across the sector worry about finding space to house workers safely as they gradually return to work. Deborah Wong reports.
For the last 6 years, Vinod roomed with 24 others at this factory-converted dormitory. But since the operator removed some beds and spread out the rest, he now has more living space.
Last time we entered the room, the bed holes is the order. Now is the maintain the distance. The 1 meter, the group by group, put the bed group by group and maintain the distance also. Now okay.
It helps that the resident population has dropped by 25% after some employers rehome their men at temporary living quarters. But these numbers are still in flux, so the operator has had to navigate tighter corners to prevent overcrowding.
Given the space constraints in factory-converted dormitories, operators have had to be flexible. Now, for instance, this kitchen has now been converted into a small dining area since residents are still not allowed to cook. And if a large group of workers need to be isolated, the operator can expand the isolation unit back there by adding more beds here in this section.
But in the long term, retrofitting and other safe management measures may be harder for smaller dorms to carry out.
To be able to implement a lot of the things that are required, similar to that of a PBD, may not be economically efficient. So as an example, right, having to build ensuite toilet for every room, that is a challenge, not just initial capital expenditure. We're also talking about the maintenance expenditure that's required to maintain a dormitory at a lower capacity, but with more requirements.
In the meantime, Mr. Au says his team is looking at possibly converting some areas in the dormitory to spread out beds when more workers return. This will ensure there are enough residents needed to keep the dormitory running. At West Light Mandai, a larger purpose-built dormitory, occupancy has dropped by 20% from pre-pandemic days, since some workers are still quarantined or at decanted sites. But it still takes careful planning to manage more than 4,200 residents. That includes housing workers from the same company together. Larger units can house up to 16 men, and all rooms come with their own kitchen and bathrooms.
Small companies may not have so many workers, and therefore we need to constantly talk to the sector leaders to see whether in the first place we can actually make up an alternative solution. We also need to provide enough isolating facilities. If all does come back, we don't have enough space, and we are able to accommodate the customers. Obviously, it will be a first come first serve basis.
Once outside the rooms, movements are even more regulated. Since the dormitory was recently de-gazetted as an isolation zone after 4 months, residents can now leave their rooms to get a haircut, order takeouts, and even pick up groceries in person, all within half-hour time bands or through pre-booked appointments. This also means the operator has to step up enforcement to prevent intermingling. So Mr. Kong's team has put in automated gantries to reduce the manpower strain. They've also launched an app that enables residents to order groceries to minimize time spent outside.
Yeah, every day one time, and then scan my maps, you can buy, and then go back to room. Yeah, and also every day one time cook, and then my friends are shared to me to eat, and then.
For Vamsi, who recovered from COVID-19 in June, life is finally a little more normal, and he's making sure it stays that way. Habits like tracking his health daily and interacting only with roommates are here to stay, at least until the pandemic is over.